Have you ever been in a meeting? Maybe you are zoning out, checking your phones, or thinking about what you want for lunch, and suddenly the room goes silent and you hear your name. So, Prakash, what do you think? In that split second, your body reacts like you have just seen a ghost. Your heart starts pounding against your ribs. Your palms get sweaty and your mind, it goes completely blank. You know the answer. You know your stuff, but the words just disappear. Let me tell you a quick story about a guy named Chris. This is a real example. Chris was brilliant. He worked at a software startup and had this incredible idea for new product strategy. In his head, it was perfect. But one day, in a high stake meeting, the CEO turned to him and asked him to explain it. Chris froze. He rambled. He gave big answers. He looked nervous. The CEO wasn't impressed, and that's why they moved on. Eventually, Chris was actually let go from the company. Now, here is the painful part. 6 months later, a new team came in. They pitched the exact same idea Chris had, but they explained it clearly and confidently. And guess what? They become heroes. The company adopted the idea and they got promoted. The only difference between Chris and that new team wasn't intelligence, it was communication. Today I am going to teach you how to make sure that never happens to you. We are going to master the art of spontaneous speaking. First, you need to forgive yourself. You don't freeze because you are so stupid. You freeze because you are human. There is a biological term for this. It is called plumbing reversal. When you feel judged, like when everyone is in a meeting, stares at you, your brain misunderstands the situation. It thinks you are in a physical danger. It triggers the fight or flight response. So your body says, we don't need to digest food right now, we need to run away. So it shuts down your saliva glands. That's why your mouth goes dry. It says we need to cool down the body. That's why your palms sweat. It pumps blood to your big muscles. That's why your hands start shaking. This is great if you are fighting a tiger. It is terrible if you are trying to explain an Excel sheet. Your body is sabotaging your brain. The cognitive load is too high and you literally cannot access the vocabulary you need. A lot of you are thinking, but Prakash, some people are just born with it. They are natural speakers. That is a big lie. Let's look at Hollywood director Michael Bay. He made Transformers. He knows how to tell a story, right? In 2014, he was at CES, a huge tech event. He walked on stage to give a presentation. Suddenly, his teleprompter broke. The script was gone. Now, if he was a natural, he would have just improvised, right? No, he froze. He stammered. He tried to speak, couldn't find the words, apologized, and literally walked off the stage. Why? Because he treated speaking like a performance, not a conversation. We often compare our insights to other people's outsides. We see people giving TED Talks and think, wow, they are so perfect. But we forget that TED Talks are scripted, edited, and rehearsed for months. That is not real life. Real life is messy, real life is unscripted, and if you try to be perfect in an unscripted movement, you will fail every time. So, how do we fix this? I have 3 steps for you. Step 1, lower the bar. You freeze because you are trying to be brilliant immediately. You want to say the perfect smart thing. Stop it. Your goal is not to be perfect, your goal is just to start. Give yourself permission to be average. When you lower the pressure, your brain relaxes, and when your brain relaxes, the smart answers actually start to flow. Dare to be dull. Step 2, structure is freedom. When you don't have a script, you need a map. Without a map, you ramble. Next time you are asked a question, don't just vomit words. Use the what, so what, now what structure. What? Here is the problem or the situation. So what? Here is why it matters to us. Now what? Here is the next step we need to take. This simple framework saves you from getting lost in your own sentences. Step 3, the virtue of going first. This is my favorite tip. It's called the virtue of A. In school, kids with last names start with A often get called on first. They have to get used to speaking quickly. If you sit in a meeting and wait for everyone else to speak, what happens? You start overthinking. You compare your answer to theirs. Your anxiety grows and grows. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. The heck, speak first. Raise your hand immediately. It kills the anxiety before it has time to grow. It forces you to trust your gut. One last thing, you are going to mess up. You are going to stumble, but in spontaneous speaking, there is no mistakes. There are only missed takes. Think of it like jazz music, not classical music. In classical, if you hit the wrong note, you ruined it. In jazz, if you hit the wrong note, you just play the next note to make it fit. If you stumble, don't apologize, just keep going continuously. The audience doesn't care about the stumble, they care about your confidence to keep moving. So, for the next 7 days, I have a challenge for you. In your next meeting or social gathering, I want you to speak up within the first 5 minutes. Even if it's just to agree with someone, break the silence early. Communication isn't about showing off your vocabulary, it's about connecting with people. Don't let your great ideas die inside your head just because you were too scared to open your mouth. If you found this helpful, hit that like button. It tells me to make more videos like this. I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching till now.